Felicity Huffman. Julie, did you see Felicity Huffman did an interview today with
Yeah.
the one and only Mark Brown, by the way, of Eyewitness News in
Of
Los
course he
Angeles,
is.
California? You
Yes.
do not know who Mark Brown is? Of course you don't.
No. No.
Mark Brown is a staple on Channel 7 here in Los Angeles,
Okay.
KABC Eyewitness News. She could have gone to anybody. Anybody would have loved to do the interview, but I love that she went with Mark Brown. I think it's I don't know if it's funny, but anytime the local news people can get a win, I'm into it.
1000%. Good
Yeah.
for Mark Brown. I also specifically love the fact that you know who Mark Brown is, and there's so much stuff you don't know. There's so many pop culture or movie references that you could not be bothered with. But Mark Brown, you know all about that guy. I love
Well,
that.
I mean, Mark Brown helped raise me.
Did
Mark
he?
Brown, yeah. So did Hal Fishman. May he rest in peace. Um,
Okay.
Hal Fishman was on KTLA. Now that man put me to bed every night. Uh,
Interest. Why were you watching the news at night?
why not? Why?
Okay.
Why were you
Okay.
not?
Why would I? No, I love that. I love every single quirk of yours.
It's not a quirk.
It's a little bit of a quirk. Well, okay, well, let's clarify. How old were you when this was happening?
I mean, all throughout grade school.
Bestie, grade school. Why were you watching the night news in grade school?
Well, because I
No.
wanted to know what was happening in Southern
Oh my
California.
goodness. Oh my God. I fall in love with the piece of you every single time we record this podcast.
How would you find out what the weather was going to be like the next day?
I don't know. I went outside. I don't know. I mean, I just didn't think about stuff like that. Well, I
Mm,
can't. Well, let's let's
hmm.
rewind. I don't I don't recall ever thinking about. I'm sure I did.
Uh-huh.
You know, in no, it wasn't high school. No, maybe high school. I would watch like Good Day LA in the mornings, like getting ready
I
on
mean,
Fox News.
now
Uh,
would you watch before um Julie and Dorothy and Steve or
no,
when
I
they did
watched
the act
Jillian, Dorothy,
uh
and Steve.
they
Yeah, I
didn't
would
do real
watch them.
news.
No, of course not. Of course not. That's why I watched them because they were
No,
funny.
yeah, I also watched Good Day LA. I mean,
Yeah,
the three of them were famous, by the way. Like,
1000%.
yeah, it's yeah, I
It's just
loved Good Day LA.
grade school. That's just very funny to me. I mean, but I love that.
Well, because I mean, after grade school, I kind of stopped because then I moved into the dorms and I didn't have a TV in the room, and like
Right.
it was harder to watch news
Okay,
at
wait. When
night.
you say grade school,
Yeah.
what do you mean? What
I
grades
mean,
exactly?
I don't know if I was watching it. I mean, I can't remember fifth grade down, but definitely middle school up.
Okay, because when I think grade school, I think fifth grade down.
Well, when I say grades, I mean grade school is like K through 12 because they're
Oh, I
all.
see. I don't think about it like that. There's like
Oh, I
grade school, and
see.
then there's middle school, and then there's high school.
I mean, I mean, I was definitely watching the news probably, yeah, in like fifth grade, probably. Was I watching it as much as I did when I was in high school? No,
Right.
but
Interesting.
my father, on the night of 9/11, my
Uh,
father came into my room and told me to shut that TV off. And I didn't
oh,
listen.
wow.
I was glued to the TV.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Interesting.
like, I mean, at seventh grade, I probably shouldn't have,
Right.
but I wanted to be a journalist, Julie. I wanted to be Hal
Totally.
Fishman, and so welcome to Yumi and Chisme, your number one source for Chisme on the internet. It's Adrian and Julie here. Hello, Julie.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello, 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 hello. Felicity Huffman, what did she say? It's her first interview, first time she's speaking out since she the FBI arrested her. She went to jail.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple things that she said. They came,
Yeah.
she said when the FBI showed up at her house, they raided her house. Quote, they came into my home. They woke my daughters up at gunpoint. Again, nothing new to the Black and brown community. Then they put my hands behind
That
my
quote
back
kills me.
and handcuffed me and asked if I could get dressed. I thought it was a hoax. I literally turned to one of the FBI people in a flak jacket and a gun, and I went, "Is this a joke?" Um, she also said it was sort of like my daughter's future, which meant I had well, okay, this quote is misleading. Felicity Huffman reflects on the college admission scandal. She says, it was sort of like my daughter's future, which meant I had to break the law. I know hindsight is 2020, but I felt like I would be a bad mother if I didn't do it, so I did it. I mean, I don't know. I think well, obviously we've talked about this when this first happened, but I don't know. Do you blame a mother for trying to do, this for her child because she didn't think her child would be able to get into a good school? She also was talking about how this man who was running the scandal convinced her that her daughter would not get into a school. It's wild.
Well, first of all, on behalf of the brown community, why are we in it? Why are you involving us? You keep us out of your mouth. That also felt like catering to a certain audience, and I found it unnecessary. And honestly, after I read that first quote from that interview, and I read something that the Black and brown community deal with all the time, I was like, oh, bitch, I don't believe anything that comes after that, because now you're completely catering your answers for like people to feel sorry for you. But I'm understanding, and I know I'm coming from a place of privilege, because look at what happens with the Black and brown community. She said a lot with that little add-on in the middle of her sentence, I feel like. Do
Right.
you blame a
By the
mom
way,
for
it's 11:11. Make a wish.
making a wish?
Okay.
Did it.
Okay. I made
Did
a wish
it.
too. It was
Wonderful.
about
Don't
you.
say it.
I can't. I know, but it was about you.
Oh my God, stop it.
Yeah.
Um, Felicity, do I blame a mom for doing it? Yes. I blame a mom that's a millionaire for doing it. Yes, I do.
Right.
Because you already are in a position to give your daughter opportunities that so many other people will not get. And
Right.
if a man, a stranger, could convince you that your daughter was not going to get into a college, then baby, maybe your daughter just wasn't going to get into a college. If that's something that was believable to you in that moment, we got to be looking at the daughter and seeing what the problem is there. Like, maybe she didn't deserve to go to college then if it was so easily believable. I don't know. I'm gonna let a stranger come to me and be like, it's not gonna happen for your kid. You're rich, you're white, you're a celebrity. I mean, she has your name. I mean, what's happening? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her getting raided. And I don't feel sorry that this has been horrible. I don't feel sorry for I don't feel sorry for her daughter. I don't feel sorry for any of it. I'm like, rich people, they go and they do all these things all the time, and they use money to advance their lives constantly, and they never get caught. And then the one time they get caught, we're supposed to feel sorry for them. I don't.
I watched the interview. I didn't get the sense that she wanted anybody to feel sorry for her.
She's an actress.
Okay, no, listen, I get it. I don't feel sorry for her. I mean, she went to jail, she did her time. I don't there is no part of my body that has any remorse for Felicity Huffman or her daughter, or well, maybe her daughter because her mom fucked her up, but you know.
I
Uh
I also just find it difficult to believe that this family in this world of privilege that probably uses their privilege and their money constantly to help their children would keep this information from their I don't I think the kids knew. In all of the families, I think the kids knew.
maybe. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Yeah. Um I I don't I mean I don't care that she said that it happens to the Black and brown community, more so in the sense that like because it does. And so I think that her speaking out is she's obviously doing this interview to like, you know, rehabilitate her career a little bit. But
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it's like there are a lot of ignorant people, so I don't mind anytime somebody can acknowledge the fact that these things do happen more so to black and brown people anytime. Is this interview for black and brown people? Probably not, unless you are interested in Felicity Huffman. But
Hmm.
you know, I do think that there is nothing about this case or about this scandal is surprising.
Hmm.
Universities are riddled with unfair practices all the time. Every
Hmm.
place that we work at is riddled with unfair practices all the time. So, um, you know, I hope the FBI is continuing to find more people that are cheating the system because it's happening everywhere. So, more more kudos to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sucks that they got caught, but I mean,
Right.
it's happening everywhere. It
Did
happens
this man
constantly.
kill himself? The man, I can't remember if this man.
No,
No, no, no. Oh, I thought this man had killed himself before he like
no,
went to trial.
no, I don't
The
think so.
ringleader of the scandal. Anyways, okay.
Crazy.
How are you, Julie? What's going on? Are you ready
I'm
to go?
good. I can't believe it's happening next week. I'll be over there. Where did the time go?
How long is the flight? Do you know?
Well, I have a layover on the way there. On the way back, it's going to be like 14 hours or something. But on the way there, I have a layover in Boston for 4 hours and then
Awesome.
another one. So I broke it up a little bit. But yeah, I get nervous about flying now that I'm older.
Tell me about that. What do you mean? Like now that you're
I,
older, you
I was never a nervous flyer, and now that I'm older, I don't know why I'm such a. You know what it is? I'll tell you, Candace, if you're listening, this is your fault. One time, Candace and I were going to New York, and she said, "Did you know that more often than not, when planes crash, it's like a screw that was put wrong?"
why is she telling you these things?
We were on the plane when she said that.
Oh, I mean, Julie, the chances of your plane crashing are
1000%, but now it's in my head.
very slim.
1000%, but it's now
Uh-huh.
in my head. And every time I
Uh-huh.
get on a plane now, I think about that.
Well, and it's ironic that you're going to go fly to see Candace. So I
Isn't it?
think, I mean, why did she have to move?
I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. Um, no, I'm very excited, but I do get nervous now flying. I mean, just on the takeoff, then I'm fine. Once we're in the air,
Hmm.
even with turbulence, I'm fine. Because
When
I've never gotten it too bad.
do you remember the first time you were ever on a plane?
No, but it's to Mexico. But I was young. I was like a
Mm,
baby the first time I went to Mexico.
mm. The first time I was ever on a plane was I was 18. No, was I 21? I was 21.
Mm,
I think I was 21. Yeah, I was 21.
where'd you go?
Philadelphia.
I love that. By yourself or friends or stuff?
God, no. What would I go do there?
Oh,
I'm just
all of our
kidding.
Philadelphia listeners are rioting. Please don't give us a 1 star.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I went for a conference my senior year of college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I flew with my friend at the time. His name was Nathan, and then one of our college advisor things for this thing that we were doing. And yeah, we landed in well, we had a layover in Salt Lake City. And then
Mm-hmm.
we flew into Philadelphia. We got there a day early before the conference. And so we took the megabus to New York City.
I love
Um,
that.
for a couple hours, and I knew a friend of a friend in New York at the time, and she met up with us, and we walked from Times Square. We got dropped off in Tribeca because we didn't know where to go, and we're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we'll get off on the megabus here, and then walk to Times Square, and then walk from Times Square to Chinatown, and then got the bus. The next bus back to Philadelphia because we had to go to an evening reception, and then and then I was in Philadelphia for a couple days, and then I flew back. And that was my
I
first
love
time on a
that.
plane. Yeah.
How fun. That's such a fun trip, though.
I mean, yeah, it was fine. It was good. It was
I mean, you
okay.
got to go to New York.
I did. Yeah, that was exciting.
Well,
Anyways,
that's cool. How have you been? How's life? How's work?
it's good.
Why are you laughing?
No, it's good.
You know, I'm never asking you a question ever again. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't even care now. So moving on. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It's going well. Holiday season is busy at work. It's starting to get cold, which I hate. I hate the cold.
Oh,
Hate the
I love
cold.
the cold.
I could not hate the cold more. Like the idea of having to put on layers to me is exhausting. Um,
Interesting. I love a
I
layer.
oh, I just don't. I don't like because then I'm gonna show up to a place and I'm gonna be warm in that place. So then I have to carry my jacket around. There's nothing worse in Southern California than going out to a
Mhm,
bar where you may be dancing
mhm,
in the winter because it's cold outside and then it's hot inside and then they
mhm.
don't offer a coat check, so then I have to carry around my jacket because I'm not
Well, yeah,
going to be
that's really a California problem because other states
well
definitely offer coat check. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's why I said it's horrible to be that to do in Southern California.
Yeah, it's the worst. I
um
do agree that that's annoying.
and so I don't like that. um And yeah, and then it's like you're raised and you've been brainwashed to think that if you are outside in the cold for too long, you're gonna get sick. Which again, I'm not a doctor, so maybe, but my
Sure.
understanding is that you get colds and flu from other people spreading their germs on you, not necessarily from being cold outside for 20 minutes.
Right.
Um,
But
so
I do also think it has something to do with like, I mean, I'm not a doctor either, let the
right,
record show. But like, you go from hot to cold so
sure,
drastically constantly that you're like, your body's probably like, what the fuck is going on? Yesterday, it was so warm in the office to the point where I was like, it's almost like they want me to go home because it's so hot in here. And then when I stepped out, it was freezing. And I was like, this is like a shock to the system. What's
right,
happening?
right, right. My mom called when I talked to my mom, she's like, "It's gonna be cold tomorrow. Make sure you wear your hat, your gloves, your jacket, your scarf." And I was like, "Ma'am, I don't own a scarf, a jacket, glove, or I have a jacket, but like I don't own any of that. And also, by the time I leave my house at 8:30, it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine. And I'm going
yeah,
from my door to the car in the garage. I mean,
right.
I think my mother thinks that I live in like the Antarctica or something. I'm not really sure.
I love
Uh,
that. That's so funny. That's
uh,
so funny. I had to buy a bunch of all that. Like, I didn't have a coat, no scarves, no gloves. I had to buy all that to go to
no.
Europe because it's
Okay,
gonna be cold over there.
I lied. I have
Oh, see,
scarves
I
and I
don't.
have gloves, but the
I
gloves I
don't know.
stole from my friend Josh, which I should give back to him. He let me borrow them and then I just kept them.
Interesting. Yeah, I had to buy a bunch of stuff because I don't have warm clothes. Um,
Well, what did you not have them ever, or what did you do with the
no,
ones you
I
had?
mean, I just like don't get that cold. I never felt like, oh my God, it's so cold that I need to
Uh,
layer up here in California. I'm sure
uh,
there has been a time, but like I didn't have an updated coat. I didn't have a scarf. I mean, I have beanies
uh,
because my mom crochets and she makes me some every year. But
uh.
um, but yeah, that was kind of it. But here we are, ready.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking forward to it.
Interesting. I am very much looking forward to cold.
It's cold. It's cold. It's gonna be cold. And where are you going? Ireland and London?
Amsterdam and London?
Amsterdam and London. Wait, you're meeting Candace in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You're not going to Ireland at all this time.
No, not this time.
No. Wow.
I know. I know. I should have, but I didn't.
Okay. Well, I
But now
mean,
we're doing Amsterdam, Brussels, and London.
wow.
Yeah, very exciting stuff happening over here.
Wow. And is she gonna meet you at the airport or
Yeah, we're both flying in like I think our flights land maybe an hour or like 45 minutes apart.
how
So
exciting?
I'm very excited.
Candace. Candace is
Yeah.
Julie's best friend. And I would just like to
Yes.
remind people, for those of you
Mhm.
who maybe knew, that Candace moved to Europe for the love of her life.
And for herself. I
Well, I mean, But the love of her life is what I mean. I'm sure she's
He's
happy about
Irish,
this
yeah.
decision. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's Irish, and he lived over there, and
right.
he said, "Well,
No,
hello,
that's like no, no.
hello, Candice. Would
I
you
don't.
like to move to Ireland?"
Okay, I want to say that was closer to a British accent, not an Irish one.
I don't know how to do an Irish accent. That
No, I
was
love that. Good for you.
yeah.
That A for trying.
What I mean, if I'm not, I am not. I'm a character actor, and so as a
Right,
character actor,
right.
you take on, you know, different characters. And today I was an Irish man.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. You did great.
Thank you, Candice. I hope you're loving life in Ireland.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Will you do us a favor?
No,
Will you post photos on the Yumi and Chisme Instagram just to let us know, hey, I'm in Europe.
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
don't care then.
Yes,
Okay.
I will. I will. I'll share all my
It
travel
just has to be
adventures.
one. Just like, hey, this is Candice. We're in Europe and we're about to see Hosier.
Okay.
Hosier. Hosier.
I'm very excited for Hosier.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, I will do that.
Did you bring an extra pair of panties to throw on the stage?
1000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. How big do you think his dick is? I would say at least 8 inches. And probably
At
pretty
least
big.
he's tall. He's like six
Yeah.
six.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes that doesn't mean anything.
Sometimes it does, though. Let me tell you something.
Oh, do you know?
Yes. Yeah, I dated a guy that was 6'6".
Uh-huh.
It's the one and only penis I've ever had to walk away from. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I said, you're not gonna do that to me. My body
Uh-huh.
is a temple,
Uh-huh.
and you will not defile that
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
It can't take it. I
Mm-hmm.
am a warrior, but I know when to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to walk away. And you guys think I'm kidding, but I definitely have had to walk away from a penis because it was too big.
Wow.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he's found someone that's a true warrior in the
I'm
world because
I'm sure he did.
yeah. Though he's like, you're not the first to like
Uh-huh.
say, I can't do it. Not for
Uh-huh.
me.
Did you let
Yeah.
him try? Or you
Yes.
oh okay.
We gave it
Mm-hmm.
a chance
Uh-huh.
repeatedly.
Uh-huh.
I said, I will not be unhinging my jaw for you. So
Uh-huh.
I physically cannot do it. And then we
Uh-huh.
tried the other way, and I said,
Uh-huh.
that's just not, I don't think our bodies fit together. I'm so
Uh-huh.
sorry. I just
Uh-huh.
think we just don't mesh well.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so we had to go our separate ways. And that's okay.
As we go on, we remember
I think
all
Vitamin
the
C would feel a little
times we
offended for using her song during this
had
particular conversation.
together. Um, is it graduation season yet? Because I love that song.
I don't think it's graduation season.
Love that song. Whatever happened to Vitamin C? I hope she owns the rights to that song, and I hope she's making money off that song
Same, same.
because she disappeared.
Yeah.
You know what Vitamin C, Stacey Orico, Fifi Dobson should do like
Mm.
a boy genius type of
Oh,
comeback. Wouldn't that be
yeah.
good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that actually a brilliant idea. Ladies, hit me up.
1000%.
We can manage this. It would be really good.
That would be a blast.
I'm so freaking smart.
Yeah,
Like,
you're smart.
cannot handle it. Cannot handle it. um okay, sounds good. Well, listen, we got a bunch of notifications earlier this week, last week, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
People were telling us that we were their most listened to podcasts.
You guys.
And I'm going to assume that there's more of you out there, but maybe you're not you're not the type that likes to share on social media. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. If we were in your top 5, drop us a review. If you have an iPhone, but don't listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can still find us on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. So we would greatly appreciate it. I don't think Spotify allows reviews, which is blasphemous if you ask me.
Agreed.
But send us a little review. It could be two words. Really great.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. We would appreciate it so much. But that was very nice. How did that make you feel, Julie?
My head has never been bigger. It's never been bigger. I was walking around like I was Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
I said, no pictures. I'm on people's top 5, please. Yeah, no, it felt great. It felt great. And it felt great that you guys feel like joy to share that information with us and with your followers, because you guys were posting it on your Instagram stories. So thank you for sharing us and sharing it with us. It was very nice.
Yeah. It was so sweet. Okay.
I know.
Well, a lot of that was because of Spotify Wrapped, and Julie, you're a Spotify listener.
I am.
I am a Spotify listener, so that
Look
means we found out how much we listened to music this year. Julie, would you like to walk us through your PowerPoint presentation of your Spotify Wrapped, please?
I would love to do that. You know what's really funny about that joke is that I gave everyone at work basically a PowerPoint presentation of my Spotify Wrapped. I gathered all the managers and I said, look at my Spotify Wrapped, everyone. And then I explained every decision and how each artist got there, how each song got there.
You don't allow anybody to do any work in that place, do you?
1000%. That's why I only go there once a week. I'm just kidding.
It used to be 2 days a week. Now it's once a week. Well, I would just like to make that very clear.
The building that I went, that this happened in, is once a week, and then I go to a different building the second day. But and then I made, really, before I get into my PowerPoint presentation, then I made everyone show me theirs, right? If I showed you mine. So then I made them all show me theirs, and all of them listen to Apple Music. And I said, okay, chaos. But apparently Apple Music does the same thing. So then everyone showed me theirs. But then, funny story, one manager wouldn't show me his. Okay.
They listen to Ariana Grande.
Okay, here's the thing. I was like, he's like, it's just reggae on there. I was like, okay, show it to me. He's like,
just what?
Reggae.
Oh,
And then he's like, I was like, okay, show it to me then. And he goes, I'll read it to you. I was like, just show. We're standing right across from each other. Just show me your phone. And he wouldn't.
Okay, so well, that's his personal property. Okay.
No.
Oh,
then he went to lunch.
Are you sure you want to tell the story?
He went to lunch, and I spread a rumor that NSYNC was his top artist.
Okay.
And then I made a bunch of the engineers who are like younger kids, they're all early 20s, made a bunch of them ping him over Teams, IM him over Teams, and be like, oh my god, I heard you're an NSYNC fan.
You remind me of someone who works where I work. I can't quite put my finger on it though.
Came back to all these messages, and then I just hear him from his office, and he goes, Juliana, did you start a rumor today? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he comes out all angry. Oh, it was hilarious. I've never laughed harder. And I can't keep a straight face. And I'm like smiling, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, why am I getting all these messages? And then he goes, that is mean girl behavior. And I was like, first of all, I wasn't the only one. Well, obviously it was me, but in my defense, how dare you blame me immediately? I wasn't the only one in the office when you wouldn't show your list. There was other people there. And then, so I had told a bunch of people to send him messages, but one of the people I told didn't get to it until like 10 minutes after Josh and I had our confrontation. And then 10 minutes. And so we talk, and then he's like, this is bullying. I can't believe you're bullying me. He's like, you said you've gone to therapy. It didn't work. He goes in his office, and then so where I work,
Uh-huh.
there's where in the section that I work, and then there's a closed side, which like you need clearance for.
Uh-huh.
And so there's people that work on that side, but we have communication with them, obviously. And then 10 minutes later, I hear him again in his office. Juliana, how did this rumor make it to the closed side? I've never been prouder
You
of myself.
are a terror at
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You don't let anybody just work.
I want to go on record and say that every Tuesday I go into that office and I get bullied and
Uh,
trampled all over by these three managers. They're all guys, and two of them
uh,
gang up on me constantly. The other one sometimes defends me, sometimes he gangs up on me too. And I just sit there and I get frustrated and I pretend to leave, but I always stay. And they think it's hilarious. They laugh, they cackle. It's like this whole thing. And every day I just take it. And the other day I said, not today.
do we
Not
need to
today.
get you a lawyer?
No, no, it's actually
Okay.
very fun. It's
Okay.
just fun to like mess with them because they
Mhm.
always mess with me.
Mhm.
For example,
Mhm.
I convinced everyone to do a door decorating contest and to have their doors ready by Tuesday so I could see them before I leave, right? And
Oh,
then
you decide. Yeah, you
yeah,
said you guys decorate and I'm going to judge.
yes.
Uh-huh.
And
So you don't
whoever
have to do
wins
any
will
of the
get a
work.
souvenir.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting the souvenir. What's that? That's work.
Okay.
So
You
I
know what? There
convinced
was a potluck at work the other day, and all I could think about was you.
why? Because you didn't bring nothing, or
I didn't because I didn't participate in the potluck.
but did you eat?
Because I didn't want to. No, I didn't eat because I didn't bring anything.
Oh, okay. So when we were talking about the door decorating contest, one of the managers wasn't there. My main guy, he wasn't there. And so then I pinged him yesterday because I was in a different building, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you saw the email. There's a door decorating contest." He replied, "The number you have reached is disconnected or out of service," right? And I said, "Interesting tactic, sir." Then later in the day, he texts me about something. And then I said, the number you have reached has been disconnected. And then I caught him in the hallway and he's like, very funny. I was like, you did it to me for, I can't fight back. And now I'm the bad guy.
So how much time do
Constantly.
people spend decorating their doors?
Well, I guess it depends. Jenny, well, one of my friends, she she did hers in another building, and I think she took a while because people say it's very elaborate. So, I mean, I guess it depends how much effort you want to put into it. How much do you want a souvenir from Europe? I mean,
Oh, you're bringing the souvenir from Europe. What is it
yeah.
going to be?
Well,
It
I don't
better
know.
not
Gotta
be a
be.
keychain.
It's not gonna be a keychain. It'll be something nice.
And are
Well,
you
and I
going to
have.
be able to relax or are you going to be worried about having to find a souvenir?
I'm not gonna be worried.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna walk into a shop and pick something. What do you
Okay.
mean? No, I'm just kidding. It depends who wins. I will try to cater it to the person that
I
wins.
see. So the winner will be selected before you go.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I
Uh-huh.
want their doors done by Tuesday so that I can
And
be
how long
there.
did you give them?
Since a week, since last Tuesday is when
Uh-huh.
we came up
So everybody
with
has to
it.
drop everything that they're doing
Mhm.
to decorate the door.
Yeah.
This is so funny. You're so funny.
I mean, what it's a holiday spirit.
Yeah, no, listen, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Okay. So our Spotify Wrapped.
I just wouldn't want to decorate the door. I wouldn't participate, to be honest with you.
That's why I'm not participating. I'm making them
Yeah,
participate.
no, but
And then you guilt them if they don't want to. One of them didn't want to, and I said, okay, so I'm gonna leave. And then I'm not even gonna get the Christmas spirit because I'm gonna be gone while you guys do all the I'm not here for the holiday party. I'm not here for all the holiday celebrations. And the one thing that you can't participate while I'm here, you're not gonna do it. It feels like an attack on me specifically, but if that's what you want to do, and then all these doors are going to be decorated and yours is going to be the only one that's not decorated, everyone's going to be like, why didn't Tom do it? Who am I to say what he's doing? So they'll all be participating.
If Julie,
Does she
if
just
you're
want to come work for
looking,
me?
yeah, no, well, if You need a Julie in your job. I'm sure Julie would love to apply. Right, Julie?
Like, work is stressful. It's the end of year. Everyone's losing their minds. Deadlines everywhere. Everyone's losing their head. So you have to find some levity in the workday.
I totally agree.
You know,
Yeah.
we're there 9 hours a day
Why?
because they make
Because
us.
you go in one day a week.
Okay, sir. No, but my schedule is 9 hours a day because we have the 980 schedule because we have every other Friday off.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
understand
9
that.
hours, it's exhausting.
Uh-huh.
It's not that exhausting. Not for me,
I
at
know,
least.
yeah.
But
I know. You're playing Christmas door decorations.
your job doesn't do stuff like that?
No.
Oh. Do you guys have offices or like cubicles or like no one decorates a cubicle?
I work in a suite that has offices and cubicles. I sit at a cubicle.
And no one decorates their cubicle?
No. I mean, somebody may hang a little something or put a little something, but no. Nobody.
Interesting. Even
Not
the
in
people
my
at
suite. I don't know what happens in all the other
right.
suites.
Even the people at cubicles in different buildings decorate the crap out of their cubicles in
No.
our company.
I'm going to speak for my department and my department only.
Right.
We're busy.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's Christmas.
No.
Interesting.
No.
But if it was decorated, you'd walk in there a little bit jollier,
No.
a little bit ho-ho-ho-ier.
No.
No?
No.
Oh my
No.
God. When I walk through our building and I see all the Christmas trees and lights and decorate, I'm like, look at these people having a blast.
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
No. And if it were to be decorated, I wouldn't be the one to decorate. So, no.
Right. Well, no, neither would I. But I gather the troops.
No.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't want to participate in the potluck that happened on Wednesday.
Right. Why? Because you didn't want to bring something, or like you just didn't want to get involved. Like, what's the reason?
Both. I didn't want to bring anything, and I didn't want to participate with those particular coworkers.
People.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh my God.
They're not people.
You guys.
They're not people. They're not people in my department. I like to mind my own business, and so
if Adrian and I work together, you know he wouldn't talk to me. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We all know it.
I wouldn't talk. I mean, I would be friendly with you for sure. Yeah, but
I wouldn't. You're not an asshole.
Well, and if we interacted a lot for our jobs, then yes, we would get along quite well, actually. But if we didn't,
we would.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I think I'd be too much for your energy.
No, I know.
You'd be like, if Julie plans one more thing for our office, I'm going to scream.
Well, okay. Are you
first of all, because she doesn't do it and she just makes us do it?
Okay, yeah. No. I mean, listen, I don't mind that the potluck was happening. I love that the potluck was happening. But I didn't want to go buy something or make something and then take up my lunchtime that I have with my friends, because that's the only time I get to see my friends at work. And so I wasn't going to skip on that to have a potluck with folks that I don't really necessarily know or communicate with that often.
Interesting. Okay, I love that. I love that. Boundaries.
Yeah.
No, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's two different kinds of coworkers, guys, and I think we've all seen that here. No, and that's fine. No, nobody's judging you. I don't want you to feel judged.
I don't feel judged.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't no, you shouldn't though.
Well, but I don't.
Okay, good, because you shouldn't, because it's not weird.
I don't think that you need to worry because I don't feel judged.
Oh, okay, good, because you shouldn't.
Okay, good, because I don't.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad that you don't, because there's no reason to. You should feel comfortable in your decisions. Who cares what people say?
Do you think people are talking about me?
No, they wouldn't dare. And you guys wouldn't dare either, right? I'm just kidding.
No, they're not talking
Just
about
kidding.
me.
There's totally different kind. No, I'm totally kidding. There, and honestly, I'm like you, depending on who I'm interacting with. But like because I see these guys all the time. But like if I go to a different team and I have to go help them do something, then yes, I'm a little bit more reserved, quieter. Obviously, I'm not fucking bossing everybody around that I come in contact with.
But the difference though is up until you get comfortable with the new group.
That's true.
I've
That's
been at
true.
this place for 7 years.
Okay. And that's okay. You guys
I don't.
stop. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, totally. I totally get it. And honestly, your vibe outside of I would totally get that that's how you are at work. Because you're a lot
How?
more, and you're good with boundaries. You know what you like, you know what you don't like, you don't let shit slip. You know what I mean? You don't put yourself in situations you don't want to be in for like to save face or whatever. You
Right.
just don't involve
Right.
yourself in it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And no one is judging you.
I don't think anybody is.
I don't think anybody is, right? Everyone, we're not judging him. Stop.
If you're at home and you feel differently about what I'm saying and you think I should change my
No.
approach, let me know.
No.
No, I'm curious to know what the people have to say. Send in fan mail and let me know that you would not interact with me at work. Let me know.
I want to be very clear. I am 1000% of the time jokes. In this one instance, I will be sincere and say, you absolutely should not change. Do not put
I don't
yourself
plan
in
on it.
Yeah, no, and no one that's hearing this and being like, oh, I'm a little bit more like Adrian. Is that weird? It's not. It's not. People are different, and you shouldn't put yourself in uncomfortable situations if you don't want to, or not even uncomfortable, just situations you don't want to be in.
Also, I just want to make clear, I don't walk into work and it's like nobody talk to me, nobody look at me, I don't interact with anybody. That's not true.
No one. I don't think anyone thought that.
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
Okay.
To
be clear,
I'm a very pleasant person to be around at work.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
She just rolled her eyes at me.
I'm kidding. No, I do believe it. You're a very pleasant person to be around in general.
Thank you.
I don't know why it would be different at work. No, yes,
Right.
I completely believe you.
Thank you.
So Spotify Wrapped.
Julie will text me on Sunday and be like,
out.
"Did you edit the episode already? Could you?"
I'm gonna try very hard not to do that this week. Spotify Wrapped. Did I say anything about? I didn't make it clear where I work, right?
No, you didn't.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
you can keep it.
Okay.
In its chaos, you can keep it. Okay. Where do we start? Let's start with songs. These are my first of all, I listened to 36,171 minutes.
Nice.
Of music. My top songs are, I'll start with number 5, Dial Drunk by Noah Kahan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Number 4, All My Love by Noah Kahan.
Okay.
Number 3, Out of Your Mind by Mr. Wives.
Nice.
Number 2, Mine by Kelly Clarkson.
Wait, which one?
Mine by Kelly.
Okay.
And number 1, the song I listened to since May 193 times. Francesca by Hosier.
Wow.
What was I going through? Am I okay? My artists are number 5, Hosier. Number 4, Mr. Wives. Number 3, Blondie, Taylor Swift. Number 2, Beyonce. And number 1, Everyone Saw It Coming, Noah Kahan.
Wow.
Yeah.
First time for Noah.
First time for Noah. I think it might be Hosier's first time too. It might be. I usually have Sarah Bareilles in there, and she wasn't in it this year.
By the way, are you gonna go watch Waitress in the movie theater before you leave?
Yes, on the 7th at 7 p.m.
Oh, you already got tickets. Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah. Are you going? No.
I'm gonna try to go actually.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so proud of you. You're gonna love it. Yep. You haven't seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
If anybody wants to go with me, you're more than welcome, but I'm planning to go by myself.
Oh, how
Um,
fun.
yeah.
You're gonna have a blast. It's such a
Yeah.
good show.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah.
What did your list look like?
Great question. I'm screenshotting right now because I don't know. You know what I don't like about this the Wrapped is that they don't give you all of the pieces of information in one sheet, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, okay. So I'm just gonna just quickly look through here. Okay. I will tell you my most listened to podcast was Onward by Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh,
Um
wonderful.
okay, my most listened to songs. Now I gotta get to my camera roll. My goodness. My most listened to songs starting at number 5
Mm-hmm.
uh is Ahora Entrégate. Uh Adolescents Orquesta. I don't know how to say it exactly. It's
Interesting.
I think they're Colombian, maybe. It's like this group, and it was a song, like there's a certain beat that went viral on Twitter. People were doing a dance to it. I was like, what's this song? And now I love it. I believe that the song is about this man taking this girl's virginity, but the
Mm-hmm.
song is fun to walk to. So, and I love my walks.
Love that.
Anyways, at number 4, it's I'm That Girl by Beyonce, because, well,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am that girl. Number 3 is Smoke featuring Lucky Day by Victoria Monet. Number 2 is Candy by Rosalia.
Mm.
And number 1 is controversial in the sense
Okay.
that I fell asleep with this song
Oh,
playing
yeah.
for like 7 or 8 hours on repeat, and it was just
Okay.
the one song. um Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson.
Interesting.
Yeah, had that song not been playing for
Mm-hmm.
hours, Candy by Rosalia would probably have been my number 1, and Vampire would probably by Olivia Rodrigo would have been um number uh
5.
5.
I love that.
um
It's a pretty good list.
yeah, and then my top artists were who are my top artists? One momento, por favor. Now I gotta go through this whole thing again. Hold on. Let me tell you how much I listened to. Well, hold on. Okay, I'm just not prepared. Oh my god. Um, Number 5 is Rosalia. Number 4 is Olivia Rodrigo. Number 3 is SZA. Number 2 is Victoria Monet, and number 1 is Beyonce.
Mm.
Beyonce.
It's a
Um,
solid list.
yeah, I listened to Beyonce. Hold on, I listened to 1,214 artists, and I listened to Beyonce for 5,665 minutes. I'm in the 0.05 percentage of listening to Beyonce.
I love
And
that.
I think I listened to 56,000 something minutes
Oh,
of music.
that's pretty good. I think my minutes get eaten up because I listen to so much podcasts.
Mm, yeah.
I love that. That's a
And
solid list.
yeah.
Look at us.
I
I do
played
want,
Chemistry
uh-huh.
by Kelly Clarkson 294 times.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that was a late night. That was
Yeah.
the night you left that on.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's a good song though.
It's a great song. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
hate the song. It's a great song. I My favorite song on that album is High Road.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a great song.
I think my favorite song that Kelly Clarkson has ever released is Mine.
Oh wow, ever.
Yeah, and I do
Beautiful
listen to
Disaster?
No, I think Mine is such
Miss
a
Independent?
phenomenal. She has tons of great songs. but I think my favorite song of hers of all time is mine. Yeah, I
Wow.
love that song.
Okay.
And Lighthouse on that album is also really good. I really
Wow.
like Lighthouse. Yeah, I'm surprised that there wasn't more smaller artists on my list this year. It's a lot of like big popular names, and I don't really usually listen to a ton of.
I'd be interested to see how they pull this data.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, mine is pretty accurate though, because I listened to Beyonce a lot this year. That
Mm-hmm.
Renaissance album. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
played that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
listened to that a lot. Actually surprised Taylor Swift made it in there.
Oh, really?
Because there was a solid 3 months that I didn't listen to her at all.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So yeah, I'm shocked by her. I'm not shocked by Noah Khan. Because that album that he Stick Season, the album he released, oh, I played that shit every single day for a
Mm-hmm.
month straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by him at all. I knew he would be my top artist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Noah, come on the pod.
Noah, come on the pod. He's gonna be on SNL
Beyonce,
this week.
come on the.
Oh,
Oh,
it
he
already
is.
passed by the time people listen to this. He was
Oh,
on SNL last week, everyone.
this past weekend. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you can watch it on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Noah Khan.
Noah Khan. Have you listened to his album?
I maybe have tried to listen to one song.
Why do I ask questions I know the answers to?
Here's the thing. I don't know. I haven't been able to get into it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've listened to his work before
Uh,
Stick Season. I listened to his work because he's collaborated with this other independent artist that I really like called Joy. I'm gonna butcher her last name. Oladokun. She's been on
oh,
the
uh-huh. Yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
Colbert show, I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Steph Myers. He's collaborated with her, and then I went and tried to listen to his stuff, and it never clicked with me. And then this album, Stick Season specifically, inserted directly into my veins.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't been able to get into it. I did try. I'll give it
You
another
know,
shot.
I had a similar experience with
Tell me, say it. Say it out loud. Say it with your chest.
Victoria Monet. I
Yeah.
can't get into it. I just tried listening to her latest album like earlier this week, and I no, I don't know why it doesn't mesh with me. Can't do it.
Our wires are crossed somehow, and
Yeah,
I don't really understand
interesting.
it because that album is incredible. The
That's what
second most
that's what
nominated
people say.
artist at the Grammys, by the way.
That's what everyone's saying. That's why I
Which
went to listen to it.
hmm, there's a screw loose up here. Just kidding. Um, Speaking of Grammys, award season is quickly approaching, and I would just like to go on the record and say I haven't seen the movie. Will I watch it? I think I would hope I want to watch it. I'm gonna try to watch movies this year, the nominated ones. But
Uh-huh.
I would just like to go on the record and say I believe and I think and I want Fantasia to win an Oscar. I think she deserves it. And you know what? Listen, I'm so excited for this award season. I cannot wait. I
It's gonna
cannot
be
wait.
esteem. Wait for my azúcar because this award season is gonna be stacked to the motherfucking brim with talent.
Yeah.
Though I am feeling some type of way that the
About
variety actors on actors list dropped and Fantasia was nowhere to be found.
right. Right. But they do have
So
some good pairings.
I'm nervous that they're going to put all their efforts into a lot of other cast and maybe not so much on her because this is really the beginning of it. The actors on actors is really the kickoff of fully promoting the
Listen,
talent.
we're starting a campaign, and the
Yes.
campaign is Fantasia to win. I haven't watched the movie. I don't even need to watch the movie. I want Fantasia to win.
The movie's going to be great. Critics are already saying that it's phenomenal.
The movie is The Color Purple, by the way, that she
Yes.
stars in. Yes.
hmm
Yeah,
I guarantee you that movie's going to break us in ways that we didn't even expect.
I'm sure. Yes.
Have you seen the why do I ask questions I know the answers to?
Go ahead, ask the question.
Have you seen the Broadway show, The Color Purple?
Did it come to LA?
Yes, that's where I saw it.
And did you invite me?
Oh,
Okay.
no, Okay. So I saw the show on
Okay.
at the Pantages, The Color Purple. It's
And when was that?
a couple years ago.
And who
A
did
couple
you
years.
take?
I went with my friend Kristen.
And I don't even know Kristen.
You do know Kristen.
Who is Kristen?
You've met her.
Okay, Kristen, say hello. Just kidding.
Well, the stage version of this show is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And apparently the adaptation exceeds expectations. So I'm very excited to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, can't wait. I'm so excited. I've never been so excited in my entire
Agreed. Agreed.
life. Okay. Well, listen, as we I mean, well, it's time. It's time for the pop culture pop up. First up on the pop culture pop up, Julie, you're telling me that Sebastian Stan is going to play Donald Trump in a movie?
Yeah.
What do we know about this?
Um, that's kind of it. That's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
it. It's gonna play. I actually don't know what the movie. First thing I saw was that the movie was gonna be called The Apprentice or
Uh-huh. I just
Apprentice.
saw that. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But then I saw another tweet that said it was gonna be called The Student. So I'm not really sure.
Uh-huh.
But apparently he's gonna play a younger version of
Uh-huh.
Donald Trump. And to that I say, Sebastian Stan, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing? When I saw Fresh, you can watch it on Hulu. I saw it on at Sundance, humble brag. But if you go and watch Fresh, you will see an actor that will blow your mind and you will reconsider any preconceived notions that you had about him, like I did. You see him as this Marvel character. Well, I did. I saw him as this Marvel character. I didn't really know any of his other work other than the stuff he did in Marvel. And even then, my knowledge of Marvel is very limited. And then I saw him in Fresh, and I said, this is an actor to pay attention to and to watch. He seems to be really leaning into biopics because he did the Tommy and Pam series.
Uh-huh.
That was a mistake. We can all
Uh-huh.
agree. It was a mistake to make it. It was a mistake for him to be involved. It was the talking penis was a mistake. It was all a mistake. And now he's doing Donald Trump. First of all, forget my feelings about Donald Trump. Biopics in general are not my favorite. I know the Oscars love it, and this just feels like Oscar bait. That's what it feels like. Like he's
Mhm.
gonna do this like transformation to play Donald Trump, and it's gonna be complete Oscar bait. Okay,
Mhm.
Austin Butler, I don't want it. I don't
Mhm.
want it.
Mhm. Can I read you what the cut wrote about this film?
Yes, please do.
It says Trump and uh Roy Khan, I think Khan is how you say it.
Mhm.
Khan was like his mentor. Trump and Khan's relationship began in the 70s when Trump was being sued by the Justice Department for violating the Fair Housing Act. Khan represented Trump in an unsuccessful countersuit, and the two struck up a friendship that lasted until Khan died of AIDS complications in 1986. This is presumably the plot driving The Apprentice, which they also say could be called the student. The log line of which teases an exploration of power and ambition set in a world of corruption and deceit. It's a mentor protege story that charts the origins of an American dynasty. Filled with larger than life characters, it reveals the moral and human cost of a culture defined by winners and losers. I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, as long as the stories are as accurate, as long as they're accurate in telling the true story of how this man is a horrible, disgusting scum on earth, then
Yeah.
okay. And maybe
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan needs to get paid. I don't know.
He's a Marvel actor.
I mean, Marvel is going down the toilet, if you ask me.
I agree. I do agree. But I think
Did you watch your girl Bree's movie?
no.
Mm,
No.
mm. Did you watch her
But
TV show?
I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm on it. Yes. Candace watched it. She loved it.
Candace, so much time. I love
So,
that.
so but the reason why I'm like, this is so ridiculous is maybe because I did consider he did another movie with Julianne Moore. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. And that too, I was like, yes, this is great, great content.
I
This is
want to
a
watch
great.
that Julianne Moore, Natalie Portman movie.
It just came
Would
out
not
on
be able to tell you
Netflix.
what it's about, but I want to watch it.
It's on Netflix now. It's called May December.
Okay, yeah, I believe
Yeah.
you.
Julianne Moore and Sebastian Stan, they were on a movie called Sharper on Apple TV Plus, and before that he did Fresh, which I really liked, and I was like, talent oozing out of this man. With the Tommy thing, he lost me a little bit, but I think that was like the bias of the story being told when Pamela Anderson didn't want it to be told. Um, and I just don't. Biopics are really hard for me to handle, especially of a human who is still very much causing havoc. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you're using this human that for a lot of people is traumatizing and triggering, and now you're giving us entertainment out of it.
Yeah. You know, they
I
used
don't
to
love
wait
it.
they used to wait a long time to do biopics of people. And now,
Yeah.
because we are so consumed with um uh uh getting things instantly, um, they rush things. You know what one of my biggest fears is,
I mean,
or something that I think about often,
okay.
is that, and not necessarily missing out on this, but if there were to ever, it's very likely that I may not be alive to see a Beyonce biopic, like the real one, the big
Sure.
one.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, the other thing that kind of freaks me out is, which could very well happen, is I die before Beyonce dies. I
knock on
don't,
wood.
knock
Knock
on
on wood.
what?
That doesn't happen.
Oh, okay, okay.
What did you think I was knocking on wood for? That
No,
it does?
I don't know. Yeah, I
You
wasn't sure
knock
what
on
you
wood for
meant.
things to not to happen.
Okay.
Adrian, live here for the first time ever is learning what knock on wood means.
No, that's not, I
Oh
just
my
wasn't,
God.
I wasn't sure exactly what you meant. Um, yeah, I do think about that.
Wow.
Yeah, I also started thinking about, like, what if Kim Kardashian dies before, or if I die before Kim Kardashian? I just, like, I want to be alive
Mm-hmm.
to, not that I don't want them to die, but, like,
Sure.
it's like the
Yeah.
story was completed. That's the part.
Yeah. Well,
Uh
some situations would be sadder than others, but yes, I understand. I'm not saying that someone should or shouldn't. I mean, but I agree with the we're so obsessed with getting content immediately,
yeah,
which is why, and whilst the Britney stuff was still happening, we got 7 documentaries about the
right.
situation before there was any resolution to the matter.
Yeah,
Um,
because everybody and their mom makes content now.
yeah,
It's like, not we don't all need to make content.
no,
Focus on
no,
feeding the children, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Next up on the pop culture pop up, Taylor Swift's publicist
yeah.
is fighting with DeuxMoi.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about this, Julie?
Okay. For a while now, DeuxMoi has been saying that Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift were married, or they had some sort of commitment ceremony. And they've been saying this, DeuxMoi has been saying this for a while, spreading this rumor. And people feel very strongly about this rumor. People feel very strongly that it's not true. People feel very strongly that it is true. The post that Tree Payne was replying to, I'm going to pull it up. Bad decisions were made because I didn't do that before. Is an Instagram post that DeuxMoi shared. And then this is DeuxMoi's words. She says, she did have a ceremony in either 2020 or 2021 in the UK, and it was described to me as a marriage by more than one person. It was never made legal. I will die on this hill. Put it on my tombstone. I have no reason to lie. I could give a shit what she does. I'm sorry she didn't tell you guys about it in a song. But just because she doesn't sing about something doesn't mean it didn't happen. Tree Payne screenshotted this DeuxMoi post and then said in a tweet, enough is enough with these fabricated lies about Taylor from DeuxMoi. There was never, capital, never a marriage or ceremony of any capital kind. This is an insane thing to post. It's time for you to be held accountable for the pain and trauma you cause with posts like this. And before we get any further, Tree, pain and trauma. Tree, let's be serious. I want to take you serious, Tree. Why is your name Tree? A lot of things are chaotic about this, but pain and trauma.
Yeah. Well, and then DeuxMoi responded to that and said, well, I make $0 from lying. Can publicists say the same? Also, to relate something that is in reference to something that happened years ago to pain and trauma after what just happened seems like a poor choice of words. Either way, I apologize to Taylor.
DeuxMoi, we really should discuss. You DM me separately about your structure and sentences, because that was
Yeah.
It's not easy to understand. You really got to work hard to get what she's trying to say. But pain and trauma. I'm still stuck on the pain and trauma.
It's when I first heard that Taylor Swift's publicist was speaking out about something, I was like, what? I don't know who Taylor's publicist is. Like, she's not a character in the story,
Oh, to you.
To me, like,
Yeah.
I don't know her to be, obviously I know that Taylor Swift has a publicist,
Right.
but to me, not living in the Swiftie world, I've
Right.
never known her. I don't know who she is. And
Oh,
yesterday I was bombarded with two pieces of information, or two things about her on Twitter.
okay.
This one, and then the other one where she's standing next to Beyonce's
Mhm.
publicist,
Mhm.
and they're taking, someone took a photo of them while Beyonce and Taylor Swift were taking a photo of at the London premiere of the Renaissance film.
Right.
And so now I'm starting to wonder, what is happening? Why is this
Yeah.
woman now becoming a character in this story?
Okay.
Has she been a character in the
She's been a
past?
character.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, people know her, and she's
Okay.
involved in the. I just look. I find it so crazy to take this seriously. I find it so impossible to take this seriously, because Taylor Swift dated an entire racist, and nobody said a word about how bad that publicity was for her. Nobody said a blimp, not Low Miss Tree and not Blondie. Nobody said a word about it. They just caused more chaos in order for everyone to forget it. And some of us have not. Okay. Pain and trauma really gets me, because, okay, Taylor Swift recently, well, I don't think recently, I think often, people are calling her out on the fact that she uses these terms, right? She uses these terms that are meant to protect women and meant to um, help them be stronger. And then she uses them in tactics to force the narrative in her favor, right? And pain and trauma just feels like that. Like, I'm going to make you understand that this is the worst thing, that you're coming up with the rumor that she was married to her ex-boyfriend is pain and trauma. I just, and you want us to take you seriously. And you want me to sit here and defend you, Blondie. I can't, not on the, it's just silly. It didn't need to be addressed because the rumor is silly to begin with.
Right. I 100,000% agree, because there have been worse things said about Taylor Swift. And
1000%.
and for this to be the thing that Taylor's publicist, a post from DeuxMoi about a wedding ceremony, or like, it just seems it seems weird,
Very
because
weird.
like, I don't get it. And in fact, I just had this thought. I think, although Taylor is very successful and I think very good at what she does. I do think that she could benefit from a better team around her, to be honest with you. I think
Yeah.
that her team has been around for too long. I think that um I think that she could do better with better management and a better publicist because I think Taylor Swift is here and I think she could actually go above that if she was managed in a different, better way. Taylor,
Yeah.
I have some ideas. I am available.
Hmm.
You can DM me at DJ Adriatic. Um, because yeah, I think as Taylor is entering a new era in her career, a new era in her womanhood. She's in her mid
Hmm.
30s. Before
Hmm.
you know it, she'll be in her 40s. Um, I think that we need to start thinking about what does our cultural impact and legacy look
Yeah.
like. And
Yeah.
so, Taylor, give me a call.
Hmm.
Gladly would happy to hop on the payroll. um, and we can figure this out because I don't think that your publicist should be screenshotting posts from DeuxMoi.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay,
That's wild.
DeuxMoi.
Yeah.
Um, and starting a fight with DeuxMoi. Like I don't. It seems.
Yeah, it's silly. It's
Yeah.
silly. And if anything, it makes you think harder about the rumor. Like, why this one? Why is it, you know what I mean? Like, no one's paying any attention to rumors about them being married because I've seen this rumor on Dumas' story constantly. And I always skip over this. I don't care. I don't care if Taylor Swift was married. I mean, I don't care if she got married and didn't tell the world. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the timeline of anything. Um, and I'm sure a lot of people don't, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but you see the story constantly in Dumont. No one's paying it any mind. Why this one?
Now, could it be that Taylor Swift's
Hmm.
publicist is using this to her
Crazy. Oh,
advantage? Well, yes, but using this to her advantage to, there's a plan. There's the
okay.
Travis Kelsey plan where
Okay.
she's dating this all American football player, blah, 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 blah. We've discussed that. We've been over that. But now the plan continues, and we as a public should be feeling bad sympathy for Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a victim here. And
A
so,
victim of what though?
of DeuxMoi's incessant rumors.
But this is a Dumois rumor. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Dumois reporting this and it's reaching people. Like not people isn't reporting that Taylor Swift may or may not be married.
No,
You know what I
right. Well,
mean?
but I'm saying is like the publicist is now, because she's using pain and trauma and she's kind of like trying to fight with DeuxMoi, she's trying to make it seem like DeuxMoi is like bullying Taylor Swift. She's kind of creating that, like she's now having her fans, by Taylor Swift's publicist, going on the defensive with DeuxMoi directly in a very public way. Now she's trying to get the Swifties information of like,
Sure.
we hate DeuxMoi. DeuxMoi has done this to Taylor. DeuxMoi cannot be trusted. Which, I mean, DeuxMoi is, whatever. But like, I
And
don't
I
know.
unfortunately think it does the opposite because now you're giving it some sort of legitimacy because now we know that you're paying attention to this story
Well,
when
not
we
everybody
weren't.
is as smart as you, Julie.
Well,
That's
that's
the
true.
key here.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the key.
Yeah, no, the entire situation is wild to me that it's being addressed because literally when I read it, I was like, Dumois? Why are we talking about Dumois? Like, that's not a reputable source. That's not a source that anyone looks at it as like, this is a thing that's happening.
Particularly for the caliber of Taylor Swift as an artist and as a celebrity. It's very weird.
It's very, very weird. I do agree that there's some sort of like, oh, she's the victim because of the use of painted trauma. They're trying to paint this.
Right.
This is what I think. I think that they are overcorrecting the damage that Maddie Healy did to her image. I think they're overdoing it so that when she steps in it again, there'll be a little bit more leniency because she's this battered woman. That's maybe not the right term, but like this poor woman that keeps getting torn down and she just wants to live her life and find love and whatever the fuck. And but the media and the fans and the people and the haters, like I do think there's an overcorrection happening here that is, I don't know. I think in the long run is going to be the wrong call. I do
I,
think it's going to be the wrong call.
I would just like to say that when Taylor and Travis first became public, I was very clear about what was happening. And I just want to make that
Adrian wants to make sure that you know this every single time we talk about Taylor Swift on this podcast.
I do. And I'll continue to bring it up. You can
1000%.
count on that. You can count on that. And you can go, and you know what? Next time I'm going to find the episode where I first brought this up so everybody can go back and listen to it. Cause I just want to make clear that I had said what I said.
Right.
And I still believe it to be accurate. And so just do it.
Okay. I don't feel as strongly about the manipulation of Travis Kelce and Taylor as a relationship. I do think a little bit of that was genuine. I do believe that some of it was genuine. I do think that they're overdoing it though. It's becoming too much now. And the things that are being pushed around that relationship are way too fabricated for it to feel authentic.
I agree. I do. I could see a very plausible thing where Taylor and Travis started DMing after he said he had a crush on her, and like she was like, and like I like this guy, whatever. And then her team took the opportunity, and obviously, and I don't
vetted him.
I don't think anything happens in Swiftie world without Taylor approving it. So she was 100%. Like, okay, let's do it, and they're now creating this narrative to be like of what we've just said. So again, Taylor, I think you can use a much better team. I think it's time. And I would be happy to help you navigate the next part of your career.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Reach out, Taylor.
Yeah. Thank you. Finally on the pop culture pop-up, Melissa Barrera, who was a star of the Scream franchise. You can also find her on In the Heights, the movie. Was recently fired from the Scream franchise for posting pro-Palestinian content on her social media. Spy, what's the name of the production company? Spyglass.
Spyglass, I think, maybe.
Let me get it right so that oh yeah, Spyglass. Spyglass basically called her anti-Semitic and said we don't do that, and fired her.
Yeah.
Julie, your thoughts?
They did do that. My thoughts are that's a little bullshit. My thoughts are I'm gonna read you really quick one of the Instagram stories are an example of what Melissa was posting on her Instagram account. She says, I have been actively looking for videos and information about the Palestine side for the last 2 weeks or so, following accounts, etc. Why? Because Western media only shows the other side. Why do they do that? I will let you deduce for yourself. Usually the algorithm on social media gets the gist. Well, my discovery page on Instagram will only show me videos showing and talking about the Israeli side. Censorship is very real. Palestinians know this. They know the world has been trying to make them invisible for decades. Keep sharing. So just the truth, just facts. Just I looked into this. This is what seems to be happening. Let's change it. I don't understand. It's very frustrating to see an industry that I love so much be so disconnected from its audience, because that's what they are. They're completely disconnected from its audience, and they don't understand the audience whatsoever. And this is horrible. And I mean, the Scream franchise, let us not forget that Neve Campbell, did I say her name right?
Yeah, you
I
got it
said it
right
three
this
times
time.
in my head before I said it out loud. Neve Campbell, she left the franchise because they wouldn't pay her the amount of money that she deserved, that she felt she deserved, which she did because she's been carrying the series for 6 movies, for 5 movies. So this is a franchise that has already let us know that they feel like talent is interchangeable. So it's unfortunate. I hope Melissa keeps finding work because she deserves it. And she deserves it because she's one of the very few celebrities that are speaking up for the Palestinian people.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because there are, I mean, let's look at what everybody else has said on that cast. Let's look through their tweets.
Mhm.
Um, like Sarah, I saw the LA Times posted this. They did an interview with Sarah Silverman, and they posted this quote on their Instagram. And it was Sarah Silverman. She must have been asked about the war. But it says she said this: I don't have to weigh in. This does not have to be my job. There are fucking scholars. It's insane how everyone is an expert on this region now. I don't know how to solve this, but by the way, neither do you. Here's what I find absolutely insane.
Yeah.
No one is asking Sarah Silverman to solve this problem.
No, zero
No one
people.
is asking Sarah Silverman to give us a um a report, a thesis
Hmm. Hmm.
on the conflict in Palestine and in Israel. People just want to know, people just want to hear. And I think it is the responsibility of people who have major platforms to shed light on injustices.
Hmm.
And like, could you not just say that you care about the innocent lives that are being murdered
It's so easy to
every
do.
day and have been murdered every day for a very long time by the hands
Yeah.
of the Israeli government? Just to be
Yeah.
very clear, I first learned about the Palestinian Israeli conflict when I was in college, when I have a friend who I have a very dear friend who is Palestinian. And back in this was back in 2008, 2009. And on our campus we had a Students for Justice in Palestine group. um she was very um thoughtful and educated a lot of us on what was happening over there. And so
Hmm.
this isn't just something that started happening on October 7th. This is something that's been happening for a very long time. And is it complicated? Sure. Have people tried to fix this? Yes. Is there an answer? It depends on who you ask.
Not an easy
Um,
one.
but there, at the end of the day, at the
Hmm.
bottom line, there are innocent people being killed by a government that the United States of America supports and is giving resources to financially and literally to murder people. And
Hmm.
so I don't understand how saying that you are against the murder of innocent people is A, anti-Semitic, or B, how there's anything wrong with that. And what it shows me is that there are way too many people in this world, in this society, that don't know how to use critical thinking skills, because it's like everything has to be everything has to be black and white for people, and that is not how the world works. That's not how you can be looked at as an individual. And so I don't understand, and it's incredibly frustrating to all of these people who fear that they can lose their jobs because they want to say what's right. And like the other thing that is so mind-boggling to me is like we've been through this before, and yet we still don't know um how to deal with it. We don't even know how to deal with the fact that of how people can talk about these things without literally losing their jobs. It's so
Yeah.
incredibly wild. And to me, it just leads me to the conclusion that most people are dumb
Yeah.
because how are you upset about the fact that somebody is talking about the innocent loss of life in 2023?
Yeah.
um I just saw on Twitter that there are more than 1,300 actors and artists who have signed a letter condemning censorship
Hmm.
against speaking out on Palestine, citing the recent firing of Melissa Barrera, Olivia Colman, Harriet Walter, Amy Lou Wood, Emma Seigelman, and Soybayan McSweeney are among the signees. Um, and so
Olivia Colman, I knew I loved you. I knew I loved you. I knew I was right about you. I do love Olivia Colman. Yeah, this is frustrating.
it's so incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Melissa, come on the pod. You can talk about whatever you want.
Melissa, please. I love you so much.
That's going to do it for the Pop Culture Pop Up. We'll be back next week with more Pop Culture Chisme. Julie, do you have a Latinx spotlight for us?
Yes, I do. My Latinx spotlight is, you guessed it, Melissa Barrera. I'm going to tell you what you can watch to become a fan of hers. If you're like, who is that? Well, let me tell you. You can go on Stars or Hulu and watch Vida, which is a TV show about two sisters who are grieving the death of their mother and have to help their mother's bar thrive amidst their grief. You can watch In the Heights, on HBO Max, which is a musical written by Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton fame about the community of Washington Heights. It's really good. Anthony Ramos also stars in it. Paul Mescal and Melissa starred in a rendition of Carmen, which is originally an opera. I think you can rent it on Apple TV Plus and Amazon Prime. In this one, there's been a lot of musical remakes of this story, and this one incorporates dance in a beautiful way. And the director is Benjamin Millepied. I screwed that up, but you get it. Who is a choreographer, and he also choreographed the film. And Melissa does a very good job at grabbing projects where she is explicitly Latina, but the storyline doesn't necessarily revolve around her being Latina. But this one, she does play a Mexican woman who immigrates to America. And I mean, in this instance, her culture and identity do play a role in this film, but they do it in a very small, very smart, very authentic way. All the World is Sleeping is my favorite project that Melissa has done, and I have watched almost all of them because I'm a huge fan of hers. You can watch this on Stars as well via Hulu. She plays a single mother who is addicted to drugs, and the addiction is kind of overtaking her as she's trying to raise her daughter. It's a very sad film. It is done in a very respectful way, though, because I think often when we discuss addiction, it can feel a little predatory, or the heart is missing often. There feels like a lot of judgment when we talk about addiction, and this story is done with a lot of love. And a organization that helps women with addiction helped the director and Melissa with the story and how to do it authentically and how to portray it in a way that was respectful to people that deal with this. So All the World is Sleeping. All the World is Sleeping via Stars and Hulu. And, any other project that Melissa does moving forward, I think we should support, because I think these are the kind of celebrities that deserve to get project after project, people that don't, shy away from speaking out for what's right, and for people that don't often have a voice. So
Thanks, Julie.
thank you.
Time for some azúcar. I will go first. Married to Medicine on Bravo. It has been on for 10 years and I have never watched it. And I
Mm,
just started the Married to Medicine journey. And let me tell you, paging Dr. Jackie, paging Dr. Simone. It is so, so, so good. I'm very excited.
okay.
I've heard nothing but good things. My friend Alex could not rave more about it. He says it's his favorite. Um, and I am so excited to go on this journey of featuring female doctors and women
Mhm.
who are married to doctors living in Atlanta,
Mm,
and how their lives collide. I mean, it's delicious.
I
It's
love
so
that.
good. It's so, so good. If you've never seen Married to Medicine, but you love a reality show, I know I'm late. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But check it out. You can watch all of the episodes on Peacock, and they're airing their 10th season now. And Phaedra Parks has joined the cast at season 10, which is, I mean, the way that these reality shows have just become this whole thing where, like, now one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta has joined Married to Medicine. It's
Mm.
just so incredibly funny and exciting and
Yeah.
entertaining, and um I will watch these things until the day I die. I hope that there is a Housewives show on in the background as I pass away in my bed at my future home. I would just like to make that very clear.
I love that. I love that. I love the things that give you joy.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
My azúcar this week. When I tell you that award season will be stacked, this is exactly what I mean. I got to see two movies that I am sure will be contenders coming award season, and both of them were phenomenal. So I can finally talk about it. Eileen, starring Anne Hathaway, and oh my god, I forgot how to. I'm gonna butcher this woman's name, and that's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay with it. Um, her name is Thomasina, I think. One moment, let me pull it up really quick. Thomas in Mackenzie. She plays Eileen, and Anne Hathaway is also in it. And Anne Hathaway, I'm saying it right now, gave the best performance of her career. And that is saying something from someone who considers Anne Hathaway to have several perfect performances. This movie is based in 1964 Massachusetts. A young secretary becomes enchanted by Rebecca. The glamorous new counselor, Rebecca, is Anne Hathaway. She's a blonde in this movie. Phenomenal. The glamorous new counselor at the prison where she works. Their budding friendship soon takes a twisted turn when Rebecca reveals a dark secret. Let me tell you something about this turn. Me, who I am as a person who constantly sees the turns coming, jaw on the floor. I was shocked. I said, where the fuck did this come from? Obsessed, tension, anxiety. The movie comes out this weekend. Please go and see it. It is a phenomenal journey. Do you love anxiety? Do you love not knowing what the fuck is going on? Because this is what this movie gives you. And Anne Hathaway, I too would do chaotic things for Rebecca. So I get it. I understand it. Eileen, I'm not judging you. Almost, I would defend you. I would defend you and I would celebrate you because me too. I would throw it all away for Rebecca. Um, it's great. Also, yesterday I got to see The Iron Claw, Jeremy Allen White, Zac Efron. Possibly my favorite movie of the year. The year's not
Wow.
over. Zac Efron, a revelation.
Mhm.
High School Musical, who?
Uh-huh.
He is, here's the thing, very much looks like Zac Efron. Here, the full sentence. And also yet completely unrecognizable.
Mm.
He completely lost himself in this character.
Mhm.
1000%. For those of you that don't know, the Iron Claw is based on a real family, a real wrestling family that I had no idea about. The true story of the inseparable Von Erich, I butchered it, brothers. They're brothers. It's four brothers who make history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their domineering father and coach, the brothers seek larger than life immortality on the biggest stage in sports. Wrestling, I feel like often, especially now, because I feel like the world is so jaded right in 2023, is looked at as this like very cheesy, very theatrical sport that very few people, well, it has a massive audience, but very few people in the general audience take seriously, right? Not a lot of people do. This movie completely makes wrestling feel authentic, and the theatrics of it, like you fully understand that it's theatrical, and it's, for those of you that don't know, I hate to break your heart, not real. It's not real, but this movie gives you a point of view of like authenticity and like vulnerability to the sport that you don't often get to see. This is coming from someone that doesn't really watch wrestling. So maybe you are a wrestling watcher and you're like, bitch, it's been authentic to me this entire time. More power to you. But there's a lot of things. Angie, I went with Angie, she was a wrestling fan when she was younger, and she knows a lot about like the WWE and the history of it and the people involved. And a lot of it, she was like, yeah, I know, this person that they talked about, and this person. And it felt like a very real story about the journey that is the WWE. A part of it, because they only mentioned the WWE specifically momentarily. Zac Efron, if he doesn't get a nomination for this film, I will be picketing. I will riot. I will make a protest. I will go down the streets upset and angry, because he is truly a revelation in this. Completely disappeared in the character. I support him. I love him. Suddenly I'm a fan. I used to think of Zac Efron as very inauthentic and very like, I'm gonna say a pretty face that just did the pretty face things. And I stand by that in his previous work. This shattered me. This story shattered me, and it's heartbreaking that it's a true story, and it's heartbreaking that this family has gone through so much, and it's horrendous. And Lily James also, I feel like we need to give Lily James a couple more flowers. I feel like a lot of people don't take her seriously. And Jeremy Allen White, he's daddy forever and always. So that's my short king right there. And never has he been more of a shorter king than in this movie, because everyone else is tall as fuck. So or their average height. So
Okay.
anyway, The Iron Claw and Eileen, go watch those movies.
I watched wrestling every week, 2 times a week.
Interesting.
I was obsessed. The day after WrestleMania, I believe, one of the big
Uh-huh.
ones, um we went to a live taping of WWE Raw. It used to be called WWF.
Mm-hmm.
And we were right above Vince McMahon's box. He was in a box, one of those suites this time, and The Rock came out, and Vince and The Rock were feuding. And I was a massive Rock fan, and my brother bought me a foam finger, me and my sister and my cousins. And he was pointing right at us, doing his signature hand thing where it's like, come here. And we were like, oh my God. We were doing it with our big Rock finger or foam hands. It was the greatest day of my life.
I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so as a wrestling fan,
Uh-huh.
do you still consider yourself a wrestling fan? Or have you
I
grown up?
don't watch it, but it's different. The characters aren't the same and whatnot. But
Okay,
I will
even
always
now
be a fan of
growing
that period of time.
right. So even now growing up with some space away from it, do you feel authenticity in the sport?
No, it's all it's all fake. It's entertainment.
Right. But the interesting story, yes, but also the
I guess the
story,
storylines are it. I believe that they are athletes, but the
yeah,
storylines of the show are fictional.
right, right. Because I don't really know how WWE works. The way that there's competitions, right? Well, in the earlier versions of it, there was like the, heavyweight championship and like all this stuff, like competitions of wrestling. And though it was all acted out, like the competition part and the sport part of it was like your goal was to win the belt, because it did truly mean something. It didn't mean that the storylines were real, but getting that belt meant something to them.
And I totally know that that exists. I think that that should be separated from WWE and what they do. Like wrestling is a real sport, and there's people who are not on WWE that like, who, you know, yes. But I personally think anything that happened on WWE was rehearsed and choreographed and
storylines,
yes. But there is a real world of wrestling, and wrestling is a real sport. That I mean, I never wrestled, and I don't actually watch like, you know, competitive wrestling, but I did watch WWE I watched it on Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown, and we paid for pay-per-views.
I love that. Oh my God. See, we learn something new about Adrian every single day that we record this podcast. And for that, I'm grateful.
There you go. I went to go get my blood drawn this morning for my physical because I can't do it at my doctor's office, and they made me pee in a cup. And I had to drink so much water at Quest because I had just peed before I got there. I forgot that I had to pee. And now I have to pee so bad because that water has now caught up to me. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Yumi and Chisme. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Yumi and Chisme. Make sure that you follow our Spanish account on TikTok, yumiandchisme.mx. Make sure you visit yumiandchisme.com for all of our wonderful information and to read Julie's wonderful reviews. Make sure that you leave us a review. That would be ever so helpful. Ever so helpful. Thank you. Make sure you share this podcast with somebody that you love, and send us fan mail. You can write it, you can voice memo it, whatever you would like. And we'll be back next week with more Chisme. But until then, make sure you have lots of love, lots of peace, and most importantly, lots of Chisme in your life. Bye.
Bye.